Hello to my Flickering Myth family. My name is EJ and welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to be discussing the 10th Fast and the Furious movie. We've made it here. We've raced past all those other movies to our Fast X. And let's talk about this wild, crazy, absolutely campy good time. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The Fast and the Furious franchise is my MCU for a lot of people. That is a franchise that everyone will tune into every movie. You'll be like, oh, this isn't as good as the last MCU movie, but you'll still love it. That's where I am with the Fast and the Furious movies. Since 2001, I have been hooked on this franchise.
What'd you put in that sandwich?
That's really fun.
This is a family affair for me. My mom loved these movies, and I continue to love them. I took her with me to my press screening. Truly, I get the family aspect of these Fast and Furious movies, and it's just so warm and engaging and fun, and it just feels like this feels like a warm hug from a family member. This movie just is exactly what I needed. I see a lot of these crazy big blockbusters, but I think this is going to be one of the strongest ones I've seen this year because it understands the assignment. There is a beauty in being a campy, over-the-top movie, but owning that, but living in that. There's so many movies that want to be campy or want to be an over-the-top experience, but they're still trying to be grounded in reality, or they're still trying to not go that extra mile to really ooh and ah everyone. This movie is an ooh and ah sensation. There is so much of so many wild action scenes, so much crazy, oh my god, I can't believe they just did that moment. There's a lot of characters in this, maybe too many characters. We'll talk about some goods and some bads, but yeah, overall, I just really enjoyed the ride for this. This is a simple and easy franchise to enjoy. You like crazy stunts? You like Vin Diesel? Well, bam, you're there, and that's all I needed. I truly just wanted Vin Diesel, the family, and some crazy action scenes. That was my bare minimum. This movie delivered more than that. I got the franchise's best villain.
I knew you would come for me. I'm Dante. Enchanté.
Oh my god, the end of this movie legit had me going, oh, like I was enthralled, enthused, all the fun words I could use to describe how much I had a good time watching Fast X. The story of Fast X is pretty simple if you kind of just throw out logic, which you have to do, but okay, so this is almost a direct sequel to Fast 5, which I think is the best entry in the franchise. We had like Reyes and, you know, the kind of the Brazil mob that we had to deal with down there. Well, Reyes had a son named Dante Reyes, and he's back and, you know, ready to get revenge on that movie that we never saw him in. It's just like they would show scenes and see Dante was there the whole time. Dante's played by Jason Momoa. Yeah, he wants revenge on what happened, so he decides to go after everyone that Dom is connected to. I don't care if you had beef with Dom in a movie but decided to be somewhat friendly with him this time. He's gonna fight you. Like, Dante is a great villain because he has a Joker-like quality to him. He's pure chaos. He's pure, I have a mission. I want to end the Batman, which is Dom Toretto, Vin Diesel's character. So I will do everything I can. I will torture. I will hurt. That's something I really like about this character. He is all about causing suffering for the family. He just doesn't want to kill Dom. That's too easy for him. He wants to make him suffer. So this is a pretty isolated film. We don't have Dom hanging out with the whole family the whole movie. This is pretty kind of everyone's in their own little groups, definitely building towards a Avengers Endgame, everyone getting together and having a massive battle at the end. I can see that coming in the near future, but for right now, we had to separate it. Think of Avengers Infinity War, if you're a Marvel fan, where they kind of had all our different heroes in different spots to cause the drama, to raise the intensity, and that is what happens here. This is a pretty intense movie, story-wise. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of, oh my goodness, what piece is here, who's there, and basically how is Dom gonna get out of it. But I will say, to not spoil anything, the movie did a great job of me not feeling that this was all wrapped up in a perfect bow. This is definitely a movie that will have more attached to it directly. Like, all the Fast and Furious movies tie into each other, very soap opera, very Saw franchise, but at the same time, they kind of close the chapters. This is not a closed chapter. Like, baby, we got more to this book. We got, like, Deathly Hallows Part 2 to get to, and I'm excited to see what they can cook up with the continuing this wild, fast story. So, the goods and the bads. Let's start with the goods real quick. Almost everything other than I'm going to mention in the bad section. I had a great time with the villain. Jason Momoa was camp. Like, he was a little feminine, but a little, I mean, he's Jason Momoa, so that boy's always going to be masculine, but he had a real fun duality to his character. There's a scene, I'm not going to spoil anything, but he is like with some people he should be working with, and I mean, he's straight up Joker level crazy, like lifting up their eyelids with tape, painting toenails. It's creepy, it's gross, it's weird, but that's just the fun I got from his character. So I really like the villain, which I think helps our heroes feel more important. I like the action scenes. There's one in particular with Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez that I think is amazing. Some of the car action scenes, we'll talk about that in other things, get a little chaotic, a little messy, but I really like the fight scenes when we got one-on-one. There's a specific one with John Cena in a house. Amazing. These scenes are really impactful, and you can feel the weight to it. Again, some choppy editing here or there, but overall, I like the action scenes. So I like the action scenes, I like the villain, and I like where our family is. It's definitely a different journey. They're all starting to be far more connected. They've been together for so many movies, but this, you can feel the bond, especially now that they're torn apart. You feel it. You feel Dom just wants to get everyone together. You feel the danger that's there. I like that I felt the looming danger. That's what I needed from this. I like that there's all these wild, crazy action scenes, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, sure. I know everyone's going to make it out alive, or you think there are some crazy moments in this movie, but overall, I'm just like, I like that there was weight to it. I felt something in this movie, and that's hard to feel in blockbusters. It's like, you know that they need the money, so they're not going to hurt anybody, but this one, you don't know if anyone's safe, and that's what I like. As much as they're bringing back more characters, we might be losing just as many. Looking at some of the bads, one thing, as I just mentioned there's way too many characters in this movie. If it's not going to be the finale, we needed to scale it back a little bit. There was just a lot. Like, Brie Larson's Miss Little Nobody. She's Nobody's Kurt Russell's daughter. Kurt Russell was not in the film, but yeah, she was there. Why? I liked her, but why? What was the point? There's also a new girl that we meet in Brazil who's related to somebody else that we might know. Why? You know what I mean? There's just some of these characters that I'm like, I could have seen Rita Moreno speed race Helen Mirren, but we decided to spend time over here. Those are just those little tweaks here or there that I'm like, look, if this was the finale, I understand calling, you remember that one background extra we had in like Tokyo Drift? Bring them back. I don't care if it's the finale, but for something like this, when we're trying to build towards a lot, we're adding a lot to the stew. This is a big stew we're building. There's almost too much in the stew right now. It's overfilling. I just needed them to scale it back a bit. Same thing with some of the action scenes, scale it back. Maybe we don't need 75 cameras on set. Maybe if we would have just focused one on the hood, I would have been able to comprehend whose car we're in. Because like once they like start drifting or start like changing gears, I'm like, whose hand is that? What car are we in? Just those little moments can really distract you and take you out of the moment because you're having to try to figure out what the hell is going on. You never want to have to do that. You never just want to be like, whose car am I in? What's going on? That's a big problem I have in a lot of like Marvel movies where the action scenes are so choppy that I'm like, who just punched who? Same-ish journey here. It's not the best. And look, I will also say, this is going to be a complaint a lot of people have. This movie is ridiculous. This movie is ridiculous. There's times where I'm like, impossible. But, kind of, I don't care. Like, it's a weird thing where I'm like, I'm acknowledging that this is kind of stupid. It made me go, oh, really? But I actually kind of like that. I don't know. There's just a weird dichotomy to that where I'm like, this is dumb. This would never happen. But also, I don't know. I kind of like that was dumb and it wouldn't happen. There's just a level of like, you just got to turn your brain off. Not even really turn off in the, this isn't a smart movie. Just in the, wow, physics, I don't care. I truly don't care. Like, I see so many superhero movies that I'm like, I know this person's super strength, but they would be dead. Like, really? So that's kind of where I have to go here. It's just like, who cares? This is truly the campiest one yet. It understood that it needs to be wild, goofy, have fun, but also it's in on the joke. That's number one. You need it. Everyone knows that they're making a dumb movie and they're acknowledging it, and that helps it not be so dumb. It makes it feel like a fun, almost parody of itself. The 10th Fast and the Furious, Fast X, feels like the beginning of the end, and I'm actually upset that this is ending, but if they're going to be this wild as we head near the end of the Fast and Furious franchise, what a great time we're in for. This is my my not so guilty pleasure franchise, so I want to know what yours is. What movie franchise or what TV show do you love, but you're a little embarrassed to admit that? Share it down below. Share your feelings on Fast X. If you've had the chance to see it, what did you think? My audience and my screening loved it, so I hope you do too. Share your feelings, comments, all that jazz. Let's thumbs up, subscribe, and let's talk about Fast X down below.